All right, it's time to meet the candidate.
And now we highlight some of the most important political races around the country. Sean Hannity presents Meet the Candidates.
All right, today we head to Michigan, and longtime incumbent John Dingell, the longest-serving member of the U.S. House of Representatives, now trails his Republican opponent, Dr. Robert Steele. A new independent poll shows that 43.8% choose Steele. 39.5% choose Dingell. And Dr. Steele joins us now. Dr. Steele, those are amazing numbers considering what you're up against, the longest serving member of the House.
Well, Sean, as you know out there today, being the longest serving member of the House is not necessarily a positive thing. People understand that career politicians are the one that have caused the trouble, and they're looking for a guy like me who has the proper kind of experience at these times, never been involved in politics before. In fact, have been working with the Heritage Foundation for about 25 years as both a member and committee man. And I went to my first county convention 1 month ago. So people want experience like mine, which have helped create jobs and made payrolls, created opportunity for people, and been out there in the real world instead of the people in Washington, D.C. creating massive deficits for our grandkids and regulations that keep people from starting businesses.
Well, I mean, with Michigan now for years studying with the nation's highest unemployment rate, what's the latest number? It's 14%. I mean, the state has really struggled. Your district is in the Detroit area, and so we all know Detroit has particularly been hit hard. Why has he not been held accountable before this?
Well, I think you're going to see that accountability now. We have all we have to do is look at Southeast Michigan and the policies of career politicians like Congressman Dingell and look at how we're doing. And people have always said, oh, he's senior and he's done all these wonderful things for us. But the fact of the matter is, with all the seniority in the congressional delegation in Michigan with Conyers and Dingell and Levin, we've only gotten about 83 cents back on every dollar that we've sent to D.C. over the last 35 years. And so all we have to do is keep those dollars here in Michigan, let them invest them in the local economy, take them out of the bureaucrats and career politicians in Washington, and let the consent of the governed have a chance to speak.
I think it was back in July, Dingell actually went out there in an interview and said it's pretty hard to see how anything can be done to cure the problems we have in Michigan. So the longest-serving member of Congress doesn't have a clue how to solve the problems. If he doesn't have a clue, then he doesn't belong in the position.
Well, absolutely. He's been in Washington, D.C. since he was 7 years old. When he moved there with his father, when his father was elected, when his father died, the sitting congressman went in 1955. So he certainly would look to Washington to solve every problem. And I can just tell you from the rank-and-file UAW members that I see in the office every day, and the seniors, they know that they trust their cardiologists more than the politicians with their heart care, and the UAW guys look at this union leadership in downtown Detroit as exactly the same as the auto executives, people who are trying to eliminate their jobs and save money, and they've all lost their jobs now, Sean, and they don't need to be told that. They understand that completely. It's Reagan Democrats in the UAW around.
What percentage of the time does he vote with Pelosi and Obama?
Yeah, it's virtually unity. I mean, he voted for all the big bills, and he voted in the high 90s with Pelosi.
Yeah, I mean, so once again, I mean, it's the same story. How is it going in the campaign in terms of you raising money to be able to beat back such a long-term incumbent? Are you able to raise the money that you need to defeat him?
Well, we've had a great quarter, and we're raising a lot of money. People understand that this is a great race, and they're motivated against career politicians. But I'll tell you, he's got all kinds of false attack ads out against me, typical Social Security scare tactics, these sorts of things that I've...
Yeah, this, by the way, is now common. And if you read these phony stories, I know that Steve Israel did this to my buddy Gomez in the New York Second, sending out mailers every day, and he got called on it by Project VoteSmart for absolutely distorting the position. But it seems to me now to be some type of poll-tested strategy. Go out and scare seniors that Republicans are going to steal your Social Security.
Well, they're attacking me for being successful and working hard, taking care of patients over the last 30 years and want to hold, my hard work against me. And people understand, when you work hard and take care of people and provide a great service, as I do, and helping to take care of patients who are sick. I mean, I'm the guy up in the middle of the night when somebody's having a heart attack that, needs somebody to open their artery up. And I'll tell you, there's no accountability in D.C. And when I'm standing there trying to open up somebody's artery and things aren't going well, I have to say, what's not working? What do I have to do to fix it? Because accountability is 50 feet down the hall with the family and the kids sitting down there waiting for me to come out there and talk to them and tell them what happened. And
Yeah.
these career politicians have no accountability. They want to kick the can down the road and just get reelected.
And
So,
by the way, when I do meet you, I hope it's under different circumstances than the ones you described. Why would you go from being a heart surgeon to wanting to be a politician?
well, in fact, Sean, I don't want to be a politician. It's not something that was in my plan. It came up very suddenly just with what was going on. But to tell you the truth, it was one of these things where I just looked at my life and I said, if I get to be 80 years old and I look back and this was the time that my grandkids' future was stolen and I didn't stand up, I would look at my life as a failure. My father was in World War II, finished high school, enrolled that day. My grandfather was in World War I and World War II. They stood up for me and gave me my opportunity, and if I didn't stand up for my kids and grandkids, I would not be able to live with that. So, no plan on my part, but, obviously we're up against a machine. It's a tough race, even though we're up in the polls, and we've got multiple other polls that show that more people want them retired than want them back. We need to get your listeners in to help me fight off these unfair attack ads, on my website at robsteeleforcongress.com and make a donation and help us move to the next level. Things are going great there, and I know, we're fighting against, the career. Washington, D.C. wants Dingell back. There's no question I've raised dramatically more money from individuals than he has. And he's gotten the PACs and the Washington special interests on his side.
All right, well, we wish you the best. Dr. Robert Steele is now leading against the longest-serving member of Congress, John Dingell, outside of Detroit, and we're going to watch this race very closely. And you being ahead at this point, I think, speaks volumes about the mood of the country right now. Dr. Steele, thanks for being with us.
You bet. I appreciate the time, and those listeners got to get over to robsteeleforcongress.com. We got motivated volunteers and a lot of excitement on the ground, and it's going to be a tough one here and out.
All right, appreciate you being with us.